Listen, Grindin', I know you're having fun playing guard, play shy, or whatever that weird build is that you be running this year, but I really need you to bring back your 2K19 stretch big. That's what the people want to see. That's what we really need. We need the best duo back. And I'm not joking, Grindin', I'm serious. So here's the ultimatum. You have 24 hours to make a stretch big or you're going from DF. I'm tired of this play shot, two-way slash and playmaker grinding. We need stretch big grinding back. We need stretch big grinding back. We need stretch big grinding back. We need stretch big grinding back.
What's up, Simply Squad? It's your boy Stretch Big Grindin'. And what if I told you the player you're watching on the screen speed boosting and getting greens in people's eyes is one of my new Stretch Big builds? You heard that right, one of my new Stretch Big builds, because today I'm gonna give you the 3 best Stretch Big builds you can make in NBA 2K22. The one you choose to go with all depends on your play style. If you're trying to run point guard for your team like 2K19 Stretch Big Grindin' back in the day, you'll go with the one that's on the screen right now. If you're trying to be a knockdown shooter, lockdown defense type of player, you'll go with the second variation of my Stretch Big build. And if you're a Stretch Big purist, I got a treat for y'all today, because we have the absolute best pure Stretch Big build in NBA 2K22 in this video. One thing I want to point out before we get into this is the gameplay you're watching on the screen is me at 85 overall with 0 badges. And I'm not exaggerating that. You can check the top right. We are shooting 100% with 0 badges, not one playmaking badge, shooting, defense, anything. That's how overpowered some of these Stretch Big builds are. Now, a quick little update before we get into it. Y'all went crazy on my last video and got more than 5K likes, which means I owe y'all a $300 giveaway. This giveaway will be for Xbox and PS5 players, and I'll be hosting it tomorrow night on my Twitch. So if you're not already, make sure you go follow my Twitch. The link's in the description. And for the winners, the only requirement for you to get your prize is to be subbed to my YouTube with notifications on. So if you're not already, make sure to do that so you can win. Alright, y'all, I'm not finna waste y'all's time. Let's get into this. The OG GOAT Stretch Big from 2K19 is gonna hook you up with 3 of the best builds you can make on NBA 2K22. First, I'm gonna give you my favorite Stretch Big build, a build where once you make it, you are instantly ready to dominate the park right out the gate. No badges, no grind needed whatsoever. You are just ready to go right out the gate. The second is a little bit of a taller Stretch Big build for my people that value height in the park, but is also gonna take a little bit of grind to reach its max potential. And the third is for my Stretch Big purists out there who say that a Stretch Big is a big man who can spread the floor, play defense, and knock down catch and shoot greens. That's it. That's all we want from it. That's right, y'all. I'm gonna give you all that in one video. All I ask in return is a like on the video and for you to drop a sub with notifications on. Now that we got all that out the way, let's get into this. The first build, my favorite Stretch Big build this year, is actually a small forward. Now, I'm gonna need my fellow old heads like myself to relax for a second. I told y'all I'm giving you 3 Stretch Big builds. One of them is a purist Stretch Big that is strictly at a big man position, but this Stretch Big build is something to see. Trust me. The pie chart we're gonna go for this build is half shooting, half playmaking, and the physical profile we're gonna go is the one with the most speed. Now, we're gonna start upgrading our attributes in order of importance. So obviously we're going 3-point, mid-range, ball handling, pass accuracy. We're gonna max out our shooting. We're gonna max out our playmaking. We're gonna come down here to defense, get our lateral quickness, our steal. Now this looks cute and all, but nobody needs 26 playmaking badges on a Stretch Big build. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our post control all the way down to 44. So we have 21 playmaking badges. And instead of post control, we're gonna max out our interior defense and then put 1 up on offensive rebound and get 8 defensive rebounding badges. And if you see here, if we put the rest on offensive rebounding, we don't get any badges. So instead of doing that, we're gonna put it back down to 30. We're gonna come up to finishing. See that no matter what we upgrade, we won't go up a finishing badge at all, not even one. So our best bet is to go back to post control, get 23 playmaking, and then I just put the last 2 attributes on close shot because it doesn't really matter. But you end up with 23 shooting badges, 23 playmaking badges, and 8 defense and rebounding badges on a stretch big build. And that's not even the best part, y'all. Look what happens. For the body shape, it really doesn't matter. It's all preference. I'm going compact. Now this right here is the best part. If you go 1 down on the height, you automatically start off with 80 ball handling, which means with this build, you will be able to dominate the park with the best dribble moves in the game your very first game. No grind needed at all. And again, this is our stretch playmaker type build. This isn't our purest stretch big, so this works out perfectly. We're gonna be running the 1 on 2s, or we're gonna be running the 2 on 3s. So this is the perfect height. On the 2s will be taller than most guards, and on the 3s will be just as tall or taller than our matchup. So we're gonna go with 6'6". The height, we're gonna go all the way down because unlike most builds, all the way down actually gives you a +1 boost to speed, as you can see on the top right. So we're gonna go to 180. In the wingspan, we're gonna go 1 up from the normal, because if you go any higher than that, you lose that ball handle, which for this build, we're doing a no grind type of build. We want to be able to have 80 ball handling off rip, and if you go lower, you start to lose a lot of your defense, and that's not what we want. So we're gonna go 83.4. It only gives you benefits and there's no negatives. For your takeover, you could really be a stretch playmaker and pick playmaking takeover, but I think spot up shooter is more reliable. It's more comp. It'll give you more options in most games. So I'm going spot up shooter for my stretch big. And you have built a playmaking shot creator. It's literally a meme that I can't get away from this build title, but y'all know a 6'6" small forward build is not a play shot. I don't care what 2K says. This is just trolling at this point. Now real quick, I'm gonna give y'all the badges I would put on this player, and then we'll get into the other 2 builds. If you're playing 2s and you're running the 1, you're gonna want stop and pop on gold. You're gonna want blinders on Hall of Fame, Deadeye on Hall of Fame, Hot Zone Hunter on Hall of Fame, Green Machine on silver, Sniper on gold, and Chef on gold. Now a lot of people don't think Chef works. I personally believe Chef works, but if you don't believe Chef works and you want to take it off, that's just even better for you. You get Green Machine on Hall of Fame, and you get Sniper on Hall of Fame, and you go crazy. Personally, I like Chef. I believe it works. Until I'm proven wrong, I'm gonna keep it on, and I'm gonna keep it on gold. The playmaking badges, you're gonna want bailout on silver. You're gonna want quick first step on Hall of Fame. You're gonna want hyperdrive on Hall of Fame. You're gonna want stop and go on gold. You're gonna want bullet passer on Hall of Fame. You're gonna want unpluckable on Hall of Fame until they patch the steals, because the steals are ridiculous. When they do, you put that down to silver. But for right now, you're gonna want on Hall of Fame. And then you're gonna want handles for days on silver. I know a lot of y'all really like handles for days. Honestly, I don't be spamming dribble moves, so I don't be losing too much energy when I'm dribbling, so I don't really care for it on Hall of Fame too much. But if you wanted to, you could switch out unpluckable, put that on Hall of Fame. It's all preference. And my favorite part about this build, you get 8 defensive badges, which means you get clamps on gold, you get intimidator on gold, and you get chase down artist on silver. If you don't know how overpowered this badge is this year, you could have a 0 block rating, and I swear this badge would carry you to getting chase down blocks. It is that good this year, I promise you. Now this build, we have pretty good defense, so it's gonna do a lot for us. In our last finishing badge, you can actually get posterizer with a small forward, so that would be pretty nice. But honestly, I'm gonna do limitless takeoff just because it lets me start my layups and dunks from further out. Now that was the first build. The second build is a variation of the first build. So for the first build, you don't have to grind at all. You could start the park and you're ready to go. This second build is for the people who want to be a little bit taller. Now the only downside to being a little bit taller is you have to wait till you're 99 to be able to do all the good dribble moves, because at 99 on current gen you get +4, which means you get the 80 ball handling that you need. So if you're planning to grind out this stretch big, this second variation is for you. You're gonna go 6'7". This time, instead of going all the way down, you're gonna go to 185, because if you go up, you lose speed. If you go down, you just get negatives for no reason. You don't even gain any more speed. So 185 is the perfect height for 6'7". In your wingspan, you're gonna go up as far as you can without losing one attribute on your ball handle, which is 86.0. If you go to 87, you lose one, and then even at 99, you won't be able to get access to the best dribble moves. So at 86 is the perfect sweet spot for the 6'7" taller build. Again, same takeover choices. I would go with spot up shooter, completely up to y'all. In just making that small little change makes 2K be like, you know what, you're right, it's not a play shot, it's a mid-range facilitator. The 2K title names are bull, okay? They really mean nothing, to be honest with you. But this is the second variation of my stretch big build. So for my stretch big purists out there, this last build is going to be a stretch big at the power forward position. The pie chart you're gonna want to go is the mainly shooting pie chart. Look at the stats on the left. That just shows you a preview of how insane the shooting and the defense on this build is going to be. Even though we're on a power forward, we're still gonna pick the one with the max speed. We're still going to pick the physical profile with the max speed. Just because of pick and roll defense, you have to be able to hedge as a stretch or as a center this year. It is very important. Now for the attributes, we're going to max out everything in order of importance. So obviously shooting, most important on a stretch big, we're going to max that out. For this build, defense is next, most important. So we're just going to max everything out really quick. So the first thing we need to do is figure out what badges go down when we take out certain attributes. So first shooting, we could take 1, we could take 2, can't take 3. So we'll take 2 away from post fade. Next, we need to look at our defense and what is our least important defensive stat. That's going to be perimeter defense. We're going to take that all the way down until we lose a badge, which is around right here. So now we have 9 attributes remaining. We're going to put that on ball handling to get some playmaking badges. Putting 3 on anything else won't really make a difference. So we'll put the last 3 back on perimeter defense. Now, just like for the other builds, if you feel like 23 defensive badges is overkill, you could take some of this down and redistribute it to playmaking if you want extra playmaking. Maybe even finishing if you feel like finishing is important on a stretch. Personally, I don't think so. I think shooting and defense is all you need for this pure stretch big build. So we're gonna move on. For this build, we're actually gonna go solid, but again, it's just preference. And now the height. Unfortunately, the days of 7-foot stretch bigs are over. If you do 7 foot, your attributes just get completely cruised all across the board. It's really unfortunate. I miss my 19 stretch big. But it seems like 2K is leaning towards shorter center builds. You could go 6'7". As you can see, 6'7" gets a ton of gain, especially in the speed and lateral quickness department. But this is for my stretch big purist. So honestly, if I'm going for a pure stretch big, I want to go 6'9" or 6'8" at the very lowest. So I'm gonna show y'all both real quick. If you go 6'8", which is what I would go with personally, you would want to go 188 pounds for the 6'8". And honestly, there's no real penalty for going max wingspan on this build. You get a 77 3-pointer. That is perfectly fine. This is probably the first build I've made this year where I would actually go max wingspan. So I'll say this, if you're very confident in your shooting ability, go max wingspan on this build. 77 is perfectly fine to green every single 3. Not to mention, when you're 99, you'll get +4. But if you want to be safe and you want to keep the 83.86 is a good wingspan. And the badges you get are sharp, rim, glass cleaning, and shot creating. I don't play center this year. I honestly don't know which one is the best out of these 2. But I do know that spot up shooter works, so I'm gonna go spot up shooter. Let's go back. Let's see the 6'9" build. We got 6'9". For 6'9", the weight we're gonna go is 192. Going max wingspan on the 6'9" is a little scarier because you have a 75 3-points, so I probably wouldn't do that. If I was going to increase the wingspan at all, I would make it 87 on the 6'9". But to be honest, if it were me, I would probably just keep it normal wingspan at 86.0. And the takeovers you get with 6'9" are only these 3, which again, I would go with spot up shooter. Personally, I think the 6'8" is the better build, so I'm gonna just keep moving forward with the 6'8". And if you make the 6'8" max wingspan stretch big build, your name is a glass cleaner, but it is a shooting glass cleaner. This is one of the best shooting center builds in NBA 2K22 this year. And really quickly, the badges I would use on this build, since it has no dribbling in the build, I'm going Blinders Hall of Fame, Catch and Shoot on Bronze, Deadeye on Hall of Fame, Hot Zone Hunter Hall of Fame, Limitless Spot Up on Hall of Fame, Sniper Hall of Fame, and Green Machine on silver. My 3 playmaking badges would all go on bullet passer. You want to be able to pass to your guard quickly. And 23 defensive badges, which honestly seems like overkill. We're gonna go clamps on gold, intimidator on gold, box on gold, worm on gold, rim protector on gold, rebound chaser on gold, and if you're setting screens, brick wall all on gold. And we're going to go tireless defender and chase down artist on bronze. If you're not setting screens, you're just spotting up, we'll put chase down artist on gold. and we'll put pogo stick on bronze. And the one finishing badge for this build I would put on fast twitch, just to get the ball up quicker if I get a standing layup or a dunk. But anyways, y'all, there you have it, 3 viable stretch big builds to use in NBA 2K22. I hope you found one that you liked. If you did, please drop a like, drop a sub with notifications on. We're dropping bangers very consistent this year. My next video, we're gonna find out what it's like when 5 level 40s take over the park. So make sure to be on the lookout for that video. It's insane and it's hilarious. We race around the park in the go-karts. You don't want to miss it. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching. I love you all. And as always, keep grinding.
Ballin', 2K we never be falling. Rachel she never be calling. Still hitting shots while they steady be taunting. Ballin', 2K we never be falling. Rachel she never be calling. Still hitting shots while they